Did you know that 914 is the number of vlogs we've done? It's also the number of lives a meerkat has. Meerkat. You know what's really fun to say? Hyperbologic. It's Vlogaday 914. I learned that word on my daily word of the day.
Let's record a couple of chapters of this audiobook. I think those are the first words I've said out loud in my apartment all morning. Weird. I'll have a couple more sips of this and then we'll be ready. I'm actually really enjoying reading this a lot. I mean, I'm seeing little things that I wish I would have changed, but I'm also making notes for the sequel. Again, little things that I think would be interesting to include or to expand upon. But for whatever reason, I was definitely really intimidated to get started on this. I feel like, I don't know if it was the sheer volume of work or the unknown nature of it or how much like I would struggle with it. I didn't know if I'd be like doing it and redoing it, obsessing over perfection or whatever. But I just kind of let myself get going. I just got started on it. And as I pushed forward, I do make some mistakes for sure and have to delete sections and do them over again. But otherwise, it's going pretty smoothly. It's just a matter of making myself sit down and do it and taking the time. The struggle continues to be me sitting here reading this is time that's not spent doing other things, and that's just the way it is, including getting out and about. And the weather today is amazing. Like I can see blue sky, which makes me want to go outside and go see something in Paris because that's what I should be doing today for the sake of my sanity and for the sake of the video quality because we all want to see more of Paris. But at the same time, I want to make sure I get this done for my Kickstarter backers. I've got 11 chapters done. I think I'm going to actually send a private update to just the backers that got the audiobook to let them know that it's on the way, give them a sample so they can listen to it. Hopefully they enjoy it, build the confidence that it is coming. Then eventually this will be on Audible. So for those of you who like audiobooks, you will be able to get it. It's just gonna be a moment before that happens. So all that to say, I got a couple chapters done. I want to do some more, but I also have not eaten anything today, and coffee is not food. So I think I'll go get a sandwich, eat that, do some emails, and then I want to go take advantage of the daylight, but I also want to do some more of this. We'll figure it out as we go. But let's go get a sandwich.
One thing I have been thinking about talking about lately, for a while actually, because it comes up, people ask me about it in the comments from time to time, and something that I feel like could use a little bit of explaining is why I'm often reluctant to show much or any of my friends sometimes when I'm out and about, when I'm hanging out with them. And it's not because I don't want to, actually I really enjoy it. Like yesterday I got a lot of Richard in, which was really fun. It's really good to add him. When I was traveling with Pushan, nice to get him in there. And I have other friends that are really easy to get in, like Natasha and others who like being on camera, are generally pretty fun and have very little reservation as to how I put them to use on camera. So it's always fun. But I do have hesitations for putting my friends on camera, and there are reasons for that, and I thought I would share those a little bit. Because people ask me sometimes, like, why I don't show more of such and such or so and so, and I get it. I'd rather see more of other people than me sometimes too. Let's just be honest. I mean, where to begin? One of the things that I kind of try to think about, or I've always tried to think about to at least some degree, is like, what are the long-term effects of putting my life on the internet? And one of those things is unintentionally or inadvertently affecting the lives of those around me, right? By putting their faces and information about them out on the internet. So that's kind of the bedrock of it, is trying to think in terms of, okay, how do I protect my friends and family as best I can while including them? Like, I don't want to exclude them if they want to be included. I want to make sure that they're a part of my vlog, they're a part of my life. I love them and I want them to be included in this, especially just because it is supposed to be a record of my life. It's supposed to be something that I can look back on later and enjoy. But it comes with
with its own little complications. And early on when I first started vlogging, this is before I was vlogging daily, I was actually just kind of like experimenting with the format, as inspired by Casey Neistat, of course. I ended up getting a pretty severe tongue lashing from a friend of mine, at least it felt severe at the time, because she just was incensed that I thought that I could just film without even asking permission. And to her credit, I probably could have done a better job of asking permission. At the same time, as I recall, I had asked, and she just was kind of angry for other reasons, and took it out on me. And there was another friend there who also kind of jumped on with her, I think playing devil's advocate more than anything, but just kind of threw it in my face, like, yeah, what, like, why do you think you can just film us? And that actually put me on my back foot, and it ingrained in me pretty early on more the assumption that people may not want to be filmed than they may want to be filmed. And I think there are a lot of people that are just very open to it. As a society, we're very used to selfies and people taking photos and asking to take photos with each other, and I think that's totally normal and fine. If people ask me for a selfie, I'm okay with it. Obviously, in India, I was quite the selfie taker. But at the same time, I don't want to assume that anybody wants to be on camera, especially when it's friends or family or anybody that I want to make sure maintains at least some level of distance from what I'm doing. Even if I include them, even if I include funny moments or insightful things, like I don't want to run the risk of either showing them not at their best or exposing them to internet attention that maybe they don't really want. Now, all that to say, it's not up to me at the end of the day, and I need to ask permission from people. So with friends like Richard, there's a natural, like, he's happy to be on camera to begin with. But I do kind of come back to that idea that, like, I don't want to give away too much information about his personal life that maybe he doesn't want on there, or where he lives. I don't want to show you his address, just like I never show my own address. I want to make sure that there's a level of safety and privacy that's maintained to some degree. Because just because I've chosen to put an absurd amount of my life on the internet doesn't mean that that gives me the right to do the same thing to my friends. And most of my friends are naturally fine with it. But I also think sometimes some of them wonder why I don't put them in. And I've had that conversation with a couple of them. And the reason I end up not putting people in more often than not is either because I've already made a video for the day, or like I've got an idea for a video in my head in the day, and it doesn't really include a lot of friend footage. And part of it is, again, that I would rather default to not putting friends in and then getting in trouble for having not, than putting friends in and getting in trouble for having done so. Having put people in my vlog is harder to undo, and potentially leaves people a little bit, feeling exposed or angry. And I've only had that happen a couple times, but I'd rather err to the other side, where maybe I don't put them in quite as much as I would actually like to, but at least they're underexposed in that sense. And I do hear you that it is fun, and I really enjoy having the interaction with friends. I really enjoy being able to show some of my social life and showing some of the people that are close to me or that I really care about. And I want to do that more, and I'm working on it. I'm developing that and making sure to talk with my friends about it and make sure that we're on the same page as to what that looks like and how we can go about doing it. But I thought I'd share with you as well, because sometimes people ask, like, oh, why didn't Jay put that person in? Or why isn't this person showing up? Or whatever it is. And a lot of the time, it's not because I'm intentionally leaving somebody out, so much as I just default to leaving people out. So I guess in a way that is intentionally leaving them out, but it's not like from a mean-spirited sense. I'm not trying to exclude people. But I also don't want to get into that weird space where people expect to be in my vlog. Like, I don't want to be in that place where, like, I am the vlog, and where people look at what I'm doing, look at the videos that I'm making, and just assume that they're going to be in it. Just assume that I'm going to be filming. Not that I don't want them to be in it, again, but there's this weird gray zone that I fall into very easily with my life, where my life and the vlog get conflated. And I still want to be able to have a fun time with friends or fans at a meetup or anything like that. Like, you'll notice I don't film at meetups, and I don't generally film when I meet fans on the street or anything like that. And it's not because I'm not open to doing that, but at the same time, I feel like it runs the risk of setting a weird precedent where people, expect to be in my vlog, or just expect me to be making something other than what I'm making that day, whatever it is. It's hard to fully explain, I suppose, but I want to still be able to have real one-on-one interactions with the people that I meet, and I want to make sure that, like, I'm actually getting to know people, that I'm actually spending time with my friends, that I'm actually focused on whoever's in front of me, and as soon as the camera comes out, it fragments my focus. As much as I may be able to do both, I'm not able to converse as well anymore. I'm not able to think or focus on what it is the person in front of me is talking about as much or as well anymore, because I'm thinking about a shot, or I'm thinking about filming a particular thing or capturing a particular moment. And that does take me out of it a little bit. I don't feel like I suffer from being completely dissociated from reality. I don't think my vlog is doing that heavy of a disservice to me. But I have noticed with friends that if I take the time to film, like while we're eating or if we're walking around, it is a distraction, and it does break the flow, and it does break up the concentration. So I also try to be really careful about filming when I'm around other people, just because I want to be present and I want to be with other people when I am. So it's a balance. It's another one of those hard balances to strike. But that's why a lot of times you don't see my friends, because I often just forget to film when I'm with them, because I want to focus on them and not on what I'm creating. And I'm gonna try and do a better job of including my friends and other people in what I'm doing. But just so you know, if I don't put you in my vlog, it's not because I don't like you. It's just because I want to focus on you. It's almost more because I do like you. I hope that makes some sort of sense. But it's something that's come up in comments and questions before, and it's something that I've actually talked about with a couple of friends along the way, and I just figured why not, share that with you and tell you a little bit about it. So, anywho, I have a lot of work that I need to be doing, both recording more chapters and some emails and some other really exciting things that are so much fun to film, and the day is pretty much lost already and it's already turning gray outside. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign off here, and I will see you bright and early tomorrow morning for another day out and about. I think I'm actually gonna go to a poetry slam tomorrow evening, so I'll report back from that, assuming that happens, and then I'll catch up with you later. Whenever that catch up is, I don't know why catch up's coming into this. Also, don't forget, if you wanna get in on the postcard madness, if you've made it this far in the video, you have until the end of January to jump in on Patreon at the Wanderer level or above, and I'll be sure to send you one early in February once everything is cleared and we're moving forward with that. It's a really, really exciting time. And I've got other fun stuff coming in through the email that I still can't talk about yet, and I waited until the very end of the video to dangle that, because not very many of you will see the very end of the video. Sorry to at least throw one tantalizing thing in there, but I had to. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Oh, it's so bright.